Hello, this is Chris from the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast, and guys, it is that time again. Time for another Star Wars reaction video. After a strategic shirt change, I am ready. This is the Rogue One: A Star Wars Story International Trailer 2. I actually didn't jump on a reaction to the first international trailer that came out. I sort of skimmed through that and noticed that it was pretty much all of exactly the same shots. Maybe re-edited and reordered in a slightly different way, a different music track. It really wasn't worth talking about because I'd already talked about it at length in my previous reactions. And I want to apologise for how late this has been. I've been really busy this week doing other videos, doing other reactions and other stuff in my own life, so I haven't had time to jump on a reaction for this one. A lot of you have been commenting, asking for a reaction on it. Well, here it is. I know nothing about this trailer, so clearly there's some new footage in there somewhere which we're going to talk about. Whether we're going to watch this one twice like I've done with the previous ones, I'm unsure. It is kind of a Star Wars reaction tradition on this channel where I always watch the Star Wars trailers twice. Nevertheless, I'm talking long enough. Let's get to it. Let's get some Star Wars in. Only a month away, guys. So I'm going to click play now. Oh, that Imperial March, though. That's a new shot.
Jyn.
Chased by the Empire.
Whatever I do it to protect you.
I understand. Trust the Force.
Oh! That's a Kyber crystal.
We have intercepted the coded Imperial transmission.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it now, but...
a major weapons test is imminent.
So Jyn's
We
mum
want to know how to destroy it.
has possession of a Kyber
So
crystal.
why me?
The message was sent by your father.
So is Jyn going to go on to become a Jedi?
They call it the Death Star.
Oh, they're using the Death Star in this movie.
If my father built it, we need to find him.
Wait, hang on.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
Rebellions are built on hope.
Oh, I hate that line. It like pains me every time I hear it.
Was the fight. There is a 97.6% chance of failure. He means well.
It's mostly the same shots, but there's so much to talk about with this.
It's Rogue One.
May the Force be with us.
Those lines. This is my favourite song from all the trailers.
Immeasurable.
That's a new shot from space. Oh my god.
We'll follow your lead.
I'm not used to people sticking around when things go bad.
That's new.
Take hold of this moment. The Force is strong.
That's new father.
Take the next chance.
Was that young Jyn shouting that?
But the chances are spent.
That's new shot. Vader force choking someone. Oh wow, we have shit to talk about in this trailer. By God, do we have stuff to talk about. Right, I'm kicking off on this one with the Death Star. It's being used. We see the blast. Now, I did almost predict this. I don't know if this was in trailer 3 or trailer 2, but you see that massive dust cloud on the planet of Jeddah. And I initially thought, I think I said in my reaction, like, I wonder if the Death Star is going to blow up the planet. And then I cut myself off and said, well, hang on, no, it won't, because if we think back to the original Star Wars movie, Tarkin says that Alderaan is the first effective demonstration of the full power of the Death Star. So I thought, well, nothing's going to get blown up. The Death Star's already imposing as it is. We'll just see it there, and that will be a nice prelude into the original Star Wars if you watch them all in sequence. But apparently it is getting used. Now, I hope they're going to pay attention to the canon and not end up destroying the whole planet, because then when you go back to the original Star Wars, that will have messed with that whole aspect of Alderaan, and if you are watching them in sequence, you want that moment to be just cataclysmic and massive when you watch A New Hope again. What I think will be the case in this is that clearly the filmmakers and the studios didn't just want to have the Death Star in there and not have it being used. Personally, I would have just had it where you just see it all the way through. I think that speaks volumes, just seeing the immense shots of the Death Star, and the actual cinematography of the shots of the Death Star are massively impressive in this film. Every single shot I've seen it being involved in, you know, when it's above the clouds or when it's like hovering above the planet, anything like that, it is very imposing. the very nature of it's very imposing. What it looks like they'll be doing on this is that they will just be using a small bit of the power of it. Like, they won't be using the full power because that has enough to destroy a planet. In this, maybe they're just testing it out a little bit, so it'll be like a kind of terraforming laser or something, or it's going to like score like a line or an explosion across the planet, kind of like a nuclear explosion. I guess I'm fine with that. As long as they don't have the planet being blown up, then I'm going to have problems. Then I'm going to be throwing my popcorn at the screen saying they haven't watched their own movies. There is actually one big, not plot hole, but something I hope they clear up in this, because it looks like in this trailer and the previous trailer that Jin's father, Mads Mikkelsen, is the one who is the architect of the Death Star and maybe came up with a design for it, and that's why they come up to him and ask him to construct it. Now, if we think back to Attack of the Clones with Poggle the Lesser and the Geonosians, they hand the plans of the Death Star to Count Dooku, and that's when he flees the planet with the plans intact. So I thought the Geonosians came up with the plans, or maybe the Separatists themselves like culminated together to come up with those plans for the Empire. I hope they reference that, or maybe Jin's father is just the one there to build it, or sort of like orchestrate it out and tell them how they need to build it. I'm really not sure, but that's cool because clearly he was there around the times of the ending of Revenge of the Sith, where we see the Death Star first being constructed in one of the final shots of that movie. I love that scene in Revenge of the Sith, and I can't wait to see the shot in this film from the previous trailers where they add that laser into the Death Star almost as the final touch. Another massive plot point we need to talk about this. This is actually kind of spoiler-filled. Like, I wasn't expecting them to show the Death Star being used, but the big one is insight into Jin's character herself. So her mother, I'm not sure on her name. I don't know if it's been revealed in, like, the novels or the comics or, you know, like the Marvel comics that come out. I don't know. I just know her as Jin's mom in this. Is in possession of a Kyber crystal. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what a Kyber crystal is, hasn't read the Expanded Universe and stuff, a Kyber crystal is the element that sits inside a lightsaber, and it's where the light courses through, which gets you the blade that comes out of the lightsaber. So the fact that she has one, I don't know if she's taken it from a Jedi in the past and she's using it as a kind of element to what was it Forrest Whitaker says in the previous trailer, save the dream. Like, she's trying to save the dream or preserve the dream almost of the Jedi. We see the shots in the previous trailers of that fallen statue of a Jedi, which is great symbolism and shows the decline from the previous generations during the Clone Wars moving into this era. I don't know how she has that crystal, but the fact she gives it to Jin is very, very interesting. I don't know if she's going to carry it through the film as a totem. I believe her mum's probably going to die in those moments where Krennic shows up, or maybe as leverage to get Mads Mikkelsen to work for him and to work for the Empire. He's going to kill his wife. So Jin might be taking this crystal as a way to remember her mum, to preserve the memory of the Jedi, to remember who she is and her destiny and who she needs to work for eventually when she joins the Rebel Alliance. Or maybe, if they are going to keep Jin alive, maybe if they do sequels to this or they follow her character into other films, maybe she's going to become a Jedi. We don't know. There are a lot of possibilities with this. And someone made a great comment on one of the previous reactions I did to a Star Wars trailer where, will they ever get to a stage where they'll cross over these anthology movies into the main new trilogy that's coming out, such as episodes 7, 8, and 9. It's very interesting. I never thought about that. Maybe this crystal, for example, from Jin may crop up in episode 8 or 9, or maybe elements from this story, although it takes place many, many years before the events of the new trilogy. Maybe they'll still bleed through. Someone said maybe K2SO, the robot in this movie, we might see him again in future ones because, you know, the robots don't age. Maybe he's out of commission. Maybe they'll find a ruin of him. There's a lot of possibilities with these anthology films, and I am really looking forward to this one. It's only a month away. The hype's still there, and I'm really interested to see how they lead this one into the events of New Hope. I don't know how much time is going to be in between this one and A New Hope. Is this one going to end directly where A New Hope begins? Or is it going to end like a couple of weeks, a couple of months before? I really don't know. But how Vader says in the opening of that movie, you know, these plans were beamed aboard by rebel spies. It sounds like it was fairly recent, so it's really interesting. This has shown a lot of new insight into the characters, but at this stage, if any more trailers come out, if there's another international trailer, if there's any more TV spots, I kind of want to keep my distance now. This is as much as I want to know now. In fact, this might be a little bit too much. It would have been great to have seen the Kyber crystal in the film or the Death Star explosion, but now I guess we can predict it. We know it's going to happen, but I don't want to see any more. I'm kind of done with the trailers now. The hype's there. I love Star Wars. that's good enough for me. So only a month away, guys. That'll do it for my reaction of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story International Trailer 2. A lot of the shots in this were kind of similar to the previous trailer, so apologies if it wasn't as energetic as you were expecting. But those new shots, boy, was there a lot to talk about. So be sure to comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought of this trailer. Let me know what you think of this new information about the Death Star being shot, about the Kyber crystal. What are your predictions for the movie? Anything you like about Star Wars, please do drop me a comment. In terms of what's coming up on the channel, there'll be more reactions from me. Again, apologies for how long this one took, but you can expect more of those, more movie reviews. We're currently in Harry Potter month. We've reviewed Philosopher's Stone through to Goblet of Fire, and we'll be finishing the rest of those movies. And later this week, we'll be on a live stream review for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. We're really looking forward to that, so please do hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to keep updated with all of our content. And yeah, that'll do it for me for this reaction. So until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.